JD has his cool hat on.
W stands for wow, it's cold out here. The pitching has dominated the first two games of this series, so we'll focus on the pitchers here this afternoon. Brett Anderson will be making his second start in a Cub uniform, first ever against his old teammates, the Los Angeles Dodgers, so they're familiar with him in that they know him, but none of them have really faced him. Only Justin Turner in the starting lineup today has ever faced Anderson. He's only had a couple at bats against them. Against Milwaukee in his first start, solid, real good sinker, good changeup. Frustrated with himself, but he only allowed the one run, so a solid start for the veteran left-hander.
And you have to remember, because he didn't pitch a lot last year, it is a little bit about baby steps, right? And he had to feel very good about what he did.
Yeah, I'm clearly frustrated as he came off the mound. He's a very competitive guy. Obviously, all these guys are. But I'm sure when he got back to his room and had a chance to think a little bit about his outing, he had to be really pleased.
Hyunjin Ryu basically hasn't pitched the last couple of seasons due to left shoulder surgery, and then late last year an elbow issue, so the Cubs didn't face him in the NLCS, but he was a good one before he got hurt.
Yeah, 7-time All-Star while pitching in Korea. His first 2 years with the Dodgers, he was a 14-game winner in each of those 2 seasons. So 13-14, compiled the 28-15 record with a 3.17 ERA. Dodgers hope he's the guy that shows up here today.
These two teams have good offenses, but we have seen just 7 runs combined in the first 2 games. Is it a combination of good pitching and the weather conditions?
Absolutely. The pitching's been really good, but the weather has suppressed the offense. The Cubs hit 2 balls last night. That most days are going to be out of the ballpark. Contreras hit 1, Rizzo hit another. It's the nature of April baseball at Wrigley Field.
All right, when we come back, we'll get the scoop from Patrick Mooney, our Cubs insider, as we get you set for the rubber game today from Wrigley Field.
Lexus, who encourages you to experience amazing. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois, through it all. Ford, who invites you to go further in their fuel-efficient vehicles. Check out our entire lineup at your local Ford store or buyfordnow.com. Menards, save big money at Menards. And Southwest Airlines, yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency.
Make sure you follow Patrick Mooney, our Cubs insider at CSNChicago.com, presented by Nationwide agent Jeff Vukovich. Go to jeffvuk.com or follow him on social media. Nationwide is on your side. Well, it's been quite a week. Banner night Monday, the ring ceremony last night. In a lot of ways, Patrick, it kind of feels like the real season is now starting with all the pomp and circumstance the last few days.
Yeah, it's not every day you see Pedro Strop walk into the clubhouse in a tracksuit and his championship ring, and Albert Almora had a similar look, like a hoodie and wind pants and the championship ring. So they tried them on, they got the rings, the banner's out there, and I do think that you will kind of finally see this team get back into a routine. But at the same time, these are players who've kind of had that target they painted, on their chest last year. Big-time prospects who've been kind of shadowed every step of the way. This is just kind of, the new normal for them.
It's interesting, too. The Ricketts family, incredibly generous. Probably more rings will be handed out than ever before in baseball history. But I really like the tone of everything last night, and then going back to Monday as well. It certainly helps having Theo involved. He's been through this a few times in Boston. A lot of guys with World Series rings. Actually, Brett Anderson will be the only guy on the active roster now without a ring. But talking to a lot of guys who have rings from other places, they say this one is the best yet.
Yeah, I think John Lester yelled out at Ricketts during the World Series presentation trophy in Cleveland, it better be big. And, he had kind of felt that in Boston, that he kind of just missed that window to be on the 04 team. And he kind of always brings up Dave Roberts, the Dodgers manager. That guy stole one base, and he'll live forever throughout New England, and that's why he wanted to come here. He knew how much it would resonate if you did it in Chicago, and that's why it's this most exotic piece of jewelry in professional sports.
Well, we mentioned Ron Santo, Ernie Banks looking down. Rings were made for them. I want to mention another very important part of this organization who sadly passed away over the winter. Stan Zielinski, long considered one of the best scouts ever. And you wrote a really touching piece about Stan, the language he would use to describe players like Kyle Schwarber. You talked to former Cubs general manager Jim Hendry. I chatted with Jason McLeod last night. He said your article brought a tear to his eye. What did Stan Zielinski mean to this front office?
Well, Stan Zielinski is one of Jim Hendry's oldest kind of lieutenants, the guy who signed Rich Hill, Jeff Samardzija, told him, if you're doing the Mark DeRosa deal, make sure you get Chris Archer, a Class A pitcher no one had ever heard of. And he kind of, became obsessed over players. He was paranoid over, kind of every little detail. And there was this Indiana-Purdue game where he saw him hit it over the fence in right field, and he said, picture Babe Ruth sauntering up to the plate. You're kind of this grainy image of this left-handed swing, and picture him calling his shot towards the Wrigley Field bleachers. And Stan is someone who mentored some of the younger scouts, and who really his conviction, his kind of the way he got to know everything about Kyle Schwarber. He was surprised at all the kind of background checks and references that he had looked into. It really kind of sold the Cubs on a guy who probably went into that year as maybe a borderline second-round pick, who a lot of people thought was a reach at number 4, and someone who obviously came back and pulled off a medical miracle to DH in the World Series after that devastating knee injury.
I would encourage all Cub fans to check out Patrick's long-form piece. It is on CSNChicago.com. Great work as always, Patrick. And we have our national anthem coming up here from Wrigley Field. John Vincent with the honors today.
At this time, please remain standing and join John Vincent, accompanied by Gary Pressey at the Lowry organ, as they honor America with our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free? And the hope of the brave.
On the north side, it's the Cubs and the Dodgers, and Season on the north side, it's the Cubs and the Dodgers, and this is your Miller Lite game report. A lot of the players coming in, flashing that blinding bling this morning in the clubhouse. Those World Series championship rings, and one of those guys, Almora Jr., who will be starting in center field this afternoon. He said, hey, diamonds go with everything. We've already seen Almora make a few spectacular catches out there in center field, and so I asked him this morning, you know, when was it that defense became so important to you, and who instilled that in you?
It's a funny story. I think that kicked off for me the day I put a baseball glove on. The first practice that I ever had with me and my dad. My dad, it slipped out of it. I mean, I was a 3.5-year-old kid, and my dad was obviously in his prime. He was strong, and he kind of slipped and he hit it way too hard. And he thought that it was going to kill me, and I took a step to the left and I caught it, and he dropped to his knees. He said if that would have, you know, hit my son, he would have died. It hit it that hard, it slipped, and I think from that moment on he knew. Obviously I don't remember that, but I was always that kid that always wanted to play outfield. I never wanted to play in the infield. I didn't want it. I wanted to catch fly balls. I wanted to dive around. So some say that's, you know, I was born with that, but also I worked really hard. I would catch 3 or 4 buckets of fly balls every day, even when the lights would turn off. So I was dedicated, and I mean, that's my passion.
Your dad saw the superstar in you from that point on. There's no doubt about it.
He knew there was something there.
Well, in the same regard, I think something we saw play out in the World Series was your base running, and that's a skill also that doesn't come natural always to guys. Is that something you also worked at, or is it instinct for the most part that you, how does that?
It's a little bit of both. I'll be honest with you, when I first got to pro ball, I felt like that's something I could really improve on, was my base running. I didn't think, obviously when you're younger, you just kind of go out and play, just kind of do what feels right, and then just kind of go with it. But now once you get to pro ball, there is strategic to it. There is, you know, the right and the wrong. And I learned that. I learned, you know, to have the confidence in your ability to go out and do what you got to do to help the team, but also to be smart about it. And I had great coaches along the way. You know, I had Dave Roberts help us out base running wise. You know, and when I get here, the thing that helps me the most is that they tell me, just go out and be yourself. You know what I mean? And mistakes happen. So it kind of gives me the leeway to be, you know, unorthodox, kind of in a way, just kind of do what I do, what feels right to do, you know. And sometimes the textbook says 1 out, fly ball in the outfield, you're halfway. But if in my case, sometimes I see the ball, it's gonna be caught. So I'm like, if I can get the second, I'm gonna come back. So sometimes the coach is telling me halfway, and I'm coming back to first base. You know, it's just things that I feel like sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. But I'm confident in myself that they're gonna work majority of the time.
Almora also producing at the plate right now. He's the triple threat. Fans lined up outside of Wrigley for the rubber match between the Cubs and Dodgers. Lynn and JD will have first pitch right after this. Stick with us here on CSN.
Last night was amazing night. Monday ended in a walk-off win. Last night was ring night with plenty of bling to show off. Today, it's the rubber match, Dodgers and Cubs on CSN. Cubs baseball on CSN Chicago is presented by State Farm. Cubs and Dodgers coming up. Brett Anderson facing his former team. Cubs come in 5-3, Dodgers 5-4. Now the Dodgers Southwest starting lineup. Logan Forsythe will lead it off. Seager, the shortstop. Justin Turner back in there today. Yasiel Puig cleaning up. Scott Van Slyke in for Adrian Gonzalez. Grandal the catcher. Thompson in center. Kike Hernandez in left. And the pitcher Hyun-Jin Ryu batting ninth. And here we go as the ex-Dodger faces Los Angeles for the first time, and we are underway.
And Brett Anderson, our Lexus starting pitcher here today. Experience amazing. He has made one start, a no decision against the Brewers. Lifetime, he is 38-43 with a 3.84 earned run average. Works quickly, throws strikes, generally keeps the ball down around the knees.
Cubs a 3-2 walk-off win on Monday. Dodgers 2-0 last night. Nice running grab, Jason Hayward to start the ball game.
Well, typically Anderson will get a lot of work for the infielders. We'll take a look at the Cubs defensively this afternoon. Schwarber, Almora Jr. and Hayward, the Gold Glover. You saw him make that first play. Infield, Bryant, Russell, Baez, Rizzo, Wilson Contreras will do the catching. Anderson, for his career, a very high ground ball rate, among the highest in baseball.
Now facing last year's Rookie of the Year, Corey Seager. Paul Nauert gets the plate. Dan Iasonia at first. Sam Holbrook, the crew chief, at second. Greg Gibson is at third.
Straight change up there. That was a good pitch for Anderson in his start against the Brewers. He throws 4 and 2 seam fastball, not overpowering, a little below average in terms of velocity. Back-to-back changeups, and he, as I mentioned, he had a really good one against the Brewers. Also throws a slider and a curve.
Seager, the second consecutive unanimous winner of the National League Rookie of the Year award. Guy at third base right now. Won it the year before. Got all the first place votes. 0-2 to 3-2. Anderson not taking much time between pitches. That ball chopped foul. We will not see Hector Rondon today. He left the game last night after tweaking his left knee on that slide at home plate by Chase Utley. Had an MRI this morning, but the Cubs do not seem concerned that it's anything serious. Fly ball, pretty deep center. Almora leaps and he makes a catch. Just a few minutes after chatting with Kelly Kroll about how he goes about his business, he just steals away probably a triple from Seager.
And reminiscent of the ball Rizzo hit last night, deep to center field, stays in the yard, and yeah, Albert Almora, he can really play the position. Great concentration.
I love what he said to Kelly about how the coaches he's had throughout his career in this organization have let him be, as he says, unorthodox. And there are times when he does things that are a little bit against the norm and maybe a little awkward. But it allows him to be creative. And you wouldn't want to stifle Albert Almora Jr. or Javier Baez, right?
No, and Almora's just a good player, and he gets good reads. He's not the speediest center fielder. He's got a quick first step, great instincts, good arm.
That play is much more difficult than he made it look. You've got a very hard brick wall behind those vines. You've got a basket hanging over the field. Three and one on Turner. Came in off the bench last night but did not start after suffering a quad injury on Monday. Anderson's 3-2 fouled off. Puig is on deck.
Trying to take a shot in there after all those pitches away. You see on our Honda pitch cast there, had been staying away with fastballs and changeups for the most part. And good thinking by trying to crowd him with a fastball, try to tie him up inside, just didn't get it in there enough. So try again.
Pitch number 8 of the sequence got away from Brett. And a 2-out walk to bring up Puig. So this is the Dodgers' 10th game of the season. Puig has yet to settle into a position in the batting order. He has hit 4th, 5th, 7th, and 8th already.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be the norm with Dave Roberts this year. With his team struggles against left-handed pitching, I think he's going to be willing to move guys around that batting order. They were dead last in baseball in terms of batting average against left-handed pitching last year. They're off to a slow start in that department again this season, hitting just .217. The only left-handed bat in the lineup today is Corey Seager.
Charged by Russell. He'll flip to Baez, and the Dodgers do not score. And one of the reasons was this play. Cubs coming up when we return. Beverage Depot. Kyle Schwarber gets a hit in his first trip. Binny's will donate $100 to the Greater Chicago Food Depository. Let's get the Cubs Southwest starting lineup. It is Schwarber, followed by Bryant and Rizzo as per usual. Russell, Contreras, Almora in the middle, Hayward, Baez, and for the second time this season, the pitcher batting ninth. That's Brett Anderson.
Different look for the Dodgers defensively here this afternoon. The outfield, Hernandez, Thompson, and Puig. Turner, Seager, boy, solid on the left side of the infield. Forsythe, second base. Scott Van Slyke gets a start for Adrian Gonzalez at first, as Monty Grandal is the catcher. The Lexus starting pitcher is left-hander Hyunjin Ryu. Experience, amazing.
Outside for ball one.
Start number 2 for Ryu. A loser in his first effort. Went 4 2/3 innings.
That is a strike. It is early. Cubs are slightly below major league average in runs per game. Major league teams scoring an average of 4.28 runs per contest. Cubs at 4.12, but it's been a little bit of all or nothing at times. They got shut out last night for the first time at home in the regular season since May 31st of last year. Schwarber swings and misses, 2-2. They were shut out a couple of times here at Wrigley Field in the postseason.
Yeah, well, runs generally tougher to come by in the postseason. You tend to run into a lot of really good pitching.
Hey, a full count with Kyle Schwarber leading off a ball game.
Yeah, he makes him work.
Dodgers are over, shifting on the infield to the right, and the pitch just missed. Tough one to take. Ryu can't believe it, and that's a leadoff walk.
Yeah, Ryu probably can't believe it on 2 fronts. One, he thought maybe that pitch found the zone, and secondarily, how did he not swing? He throws this strike to ball breaking pitch that just dips below the knees. And quite frankly, it may have been that Kyle was fooled there. It took him maybe fastball and got locked up by the curveball, and it drifted out of the zone.
So Schwarber in this series is 0 for 4 with 5 walks. So his on-base percentage is over 500 without a hit in these 3 games. Slide step in the pitch to Bryant. Boy, Ryu quick to the plate.
Yeah, he's awfully tough to run against. Most teams don't try.
6'3", 250. Born in Incheon, South Korea. And is 0-1. This is the outside corner.
Part of the storyline from last night's ball game was the Cubs bouncing into double plays. It happened 3 times with Brandon McCarthy out there on the mound. So Joe Madden decided to try to start some base runners. Jason Hayward stole a bag. He had a little hit and run going later in the ball game. Chris Bryant, we thought, had successfully stolen second base, but he was called out upon review.
That might be his best pitch, the changeup.
Yeah, he uses all of his secondary pitches, changeup, slider, and curveball, but he'll lean a little more heavily on the changeup, especially against right-handed hitters.
Called strike 3. So pitched backwards. This changeup set up the fastball to freeze Bryant.
Yeah, and not just the fastball, but a well-located fastball. He's not a hard thrower. This one goes up at 88 miles an hour. Maybe a little cutting action to the inside corner, but when you're respecting and protecting against changeup or fastball away, tough to pull the trigger on that inside heater.
Rizzo has 3 hits in the series, including the game-ending single in the 9th in Game 1. Still looking for his first homer. Oh, 0-1. Pretty much right out of high school, Ryu took the Pro League in Korea by storm. He was the Rookie of the Year and the MVP in 2006, winning the pitching Triple Crown that year. Owns a gold medal. As Schwarber read that one pretty well, but he's going to be out. This maybe not a good read. Did the right thing, and most times it'll work, but Grandal pounced on that ball.
Yeah, both catchers in this game very athletic, quick feet behind the plate, and both throw well. Yeah, I think you got to force the issue there.
Yep.
Try to get that base.
That was a perfect play to get him. So bases empty, 2 outs. Yeah, really South Korea's shining moment in terms of baseball on the international stage was winning the gold medal at the 2008 Olympics, and Ryu was a big part of that. Driven deep, right field, and gone! Rizzo with number 1.
It was a high towering fly ball last night to center field that the wind knocked down. This one a lower trajectory, really well struck by the big man. And Cubs draw first blood. The Ford home run replay, choked up on the bat a little bit. Splash down. Did she catch that ball?
I think so. Have to get another look at that. Let's see.
Oh man, through a maze of hands. They got the beverage flying. She's got it in the mitts.
In the air to left. This one, however, will be caught by Hernandez. So Russell flies out. Ooh, Hernandez is going to hear about it from the fans in the bleachers the rest of the day. Anthony Rizzo with a line shot. Homer. 1-0 Cubs after an inning. By State Farm. The word of the week for Pat Hughes is ring. He and Ron Coomer got their World Series championship rings last night, and tonight he will be honored with the Ring Lardner Award for excellence in sports journalism in the broadcast category. So congratulations to the longtime radio voice of the Cubs.
Way to go, Pat. Congratulations.
Brett Anderson with a 1-0 advantage. Ball one on Scott Van Slyke. He's playing first today, spelling Adrian Gonzalez.
He missed a bunch of time last year. He had back issues and a wrist problem. He's a guy that will help them compete against left-handed pitching.
Well located to make it 2-1. The Cubs will welcome in the Pittsburgh Pirates for the weekend starting tomorrow. Almora drifting back. Much easier play this time.
Yeah, 1:20 tomorrow, Cubs and Pirates. And if you're one of the first 30,000 early arriving fans, you're going to take home a Cubs magnet schedule presented by Wendella. For ticket information, visit Cubs.com.
So the Pirates originally were scheduled to be off today. They just got swept by the Cincinnati Reds at home. Well, they had to fly to Boston for a makeup game from last week. Grandal retired by Hayward. Pirates have a 2-0 lead at Fenway in the top of the second. That'll bring up Trace Thompson. I don't know about you, but there's a little bit of a rhythm involved with homestands at Wrigley Field, and today kind of jumped on me. The night game and then the 1:20 start.
Thought today was Friday.
Well, no, it's just, you know, you kind of have to get into that rhythm, and we have a lot of those quick turnarounds. But last night was such an emotional night. It was such a fun night. All of a sudden, I looked at my watch as I was kind of getting ready to head to the park today, and I thought, oh man, I better get moving. And that's an adjustment, I think, for players in their first season. We'll talk with Jason Hayward maybe in a couple of weeks about year 2. I know John Lester last year said he felt much more comfortable after 1 year under his belt as a Cub because of the unique nature of the start times, the ballpark, all of those things here.
Yeah, and for those two guys too, there's the the pressure of being the guy, the big free agent acquisition the previous winter, and all the expectations that go along with it.
The 2-1 on Thompson is fouled away. He was called up yesterday from AAA Oklahoma City to replace the injured Franklin Gutierrez on their roster. This basically the second half last year with back issues. On a hop to the shortstop, Russell close, but they got him. That is a 1-2-3 second for Brett Anderson. Cubs 1, Dodgers 0 early. And the Bulls got the push they needed to reach the postseason. How do they match up in the first round against Boston? Join Mark Shanowski, Kendall Gill, Will Perdue for the Bulls playoff preview special presented by State Farm tomorrow night at 11 on CSN. Great time of the year if you're a sports fan. So the Bulls are in the playoffs. The Blackhawks will play game 1 tonight at the United Center against Nashville. Our pregame coverage here on CSN starts at 6 o'clock. I know you'll be watching tonight.
I'll be locked in.
Contreras batting 5th in the Cubs order. 1-0 on an Anthony Rizzo home run.
Do you think if Pat Foley did basketball, he would have to yell, he shoots, he scores every time they made a basket? Wouldn't that be cool? A hockey guy doing a basketball game?
Pat did some Cub games back in the day. Change up, swing and a miss, 0-2.
I think middle away with a guy with a good changeup. Yeah, good sports day here in Chicago. Taking a ball game. Wonder how many people will actually be here and also over at the United Center. A few, right? That's got to be, you know.
Looking around the park, I don't see anybody in a Nashville Predators sweater. And he got him. 2 strikeouts for Ryu.
We talked about Ryu, a pregame 14-game winner each of his first 2 seasons with the Dodgers. He clearly knows how to pitch and knows how to execute a game plan. Changes speeds well. A little deception too, I think, with that 4-seam elevated fastball. Dodgers used 15 different starting pitchers last year.
Almora off to a sizzling start at the plate, 5 for his first 9. The other thing that we need to say about Albert Almora Jr. and really all the young Cubs, there's a lot of trust Joe has in Almora, and that is not always the case. There are a lot of managers, swing and a miss, who really, I would say, overly protect their young players, and that's probably more the norm than the exception. And I think it says a lot about the young players the Cubs have, but also about Joe. I just go back to him throwing Chris Bryant in center field within a week of his major league debut.
Yeah, he definitely is an outside the box thinker, and you're right, it's a combination. It's one, his kind of mindset that if you can play the game, you can play a lot of different places, and confidence that if one of these young players were to be put in an uncomfortable situation and make a big mistake, that it wouldn't just bury them. He wouldn't, and it wouldn't, you know, they wouldn't be able to recover from it.
3-2. And maybe another part of that equation is the fact that for the most part, you know, the front office has not pushed too hard to get these kids to the big leagues. As Almora draws the walk, that's a good sign. So if they're, quote, over-seasoned in the minor leagues, they should be ready for just about anything when they get here, right? Because in some cases, you bring up a kid maybe before he's really ready to play every day, and then that's why the manager is a little overprotective.
Yeah, and it just depends too on how a player's used. I think Baez, when he first came to the big leagues, was a little overmatched at the plate, but he's such a solid defender, and he's got a lot of self-confidence. Wilson Contreras as well, so you're not worried about them crawling in a hole if they make some mistakes.
Well, in the case of Baez, Theo and Jed, they were pretty upfront about when he came up that however this first stint goes, good or bad, we think it'll be very instructive and helpful to him.
Well, sometimes that's how you accelerate a player's development, is bring him to the level where he's going to experience some failure. So he has to look at himself and go, okay, I need to fix this.
Hayward out into right center. Almora makes the turn. He'll end up at third. And oh, by the way, it's Javier Baez coming up, not the pitcher who normally hits eighth.
Hayward's good start to the season continues. This pitch out away from him. He uses those long levers to go out and get it. Long and strong, able to pull that pitch out away from him. That allows Almora to ease on into third base. Well, this is oftentimes safety squeeze situation. We'll see how Joe decides to play it here.
Anderson on deck. A pitch to Baez is a strike. So twice in this series, both times against lefties, Joe has decided to bat the pitcher night.
Throw over there to first base, no doubt ordered from the bench. They just probably wanted to see if Almora would give anything away coming down the third base line.
Stabs at it. Almora was not far off the bag. 0-2.
That's one thing a hitter has to remember in this situation. It's not a suicide squeeze, so you don't have to offer at it. Safety squeeze, you got to make sure you get a strike.
The 0-2 is fouled back our way. Somebody made a great catch.
Fans are having a big day. A woman caught the home run in right, now fan in foul territory. It's really a gifted bunch.
Ryan Dempster with the catch.
Doubling up on the fries.
He looked a little bit like Dempster.
Yes, he did. I feel like I was watching an episode of Friends or something. Choke up, put it in play.
High, 1-2.
That's the next step for Javi Baez. He's among the league leaders in terms of going out of the strike zone. Outside swing percentage, chase percentage, whatever you want to call it.
Broke his bat, a little soft liner, caught by Forsythe. Almora actually waited to tag. Not a bad idea, just in case.
Yeah, he knows if the ball gets in, he's going to score easily. So by tagging, he allows himself to take advantage of Forsythe with a tumble backwards after making the catch, or get a little careless flipping the ball back in. But
that's next level thinking. I don't think a lot of runners in Almora's situation would have done that. That is a really smart base running play. So let's see if Anderson can get it done. And a good play by Van Slyke. That ball was going to kick foul, but he made sure it stayed fair. And the Cubs do not score in the second after 2. It's 1-0 for the home team.
Importantly, it's the first ever industry night here at Wrigley Field, presented by Jim Beam. Restaurateurs, baristas, and concierges are encouraged to buy specially priced tickets for that game to receive a wooden coaster with a built-in bottle opener presented by Jim Beam. I made some just like that in Woodshop years ago. For tickets, visit Cubs.com/community nights. Guys ready to play. Put me in, coach. Another Ryan Dempster lookalike.
Yeah.
See, that kid's outside the box. I mean, some kids want a hat or one of those plastic helmets. Give me a mask. Give me a souvenir mask I can wear to the ballpark.
We need more catchers in the game. Yeah. Kike Hernandez drawing the ire of the fans in the bleachers for a fake tossing a ball out there after a third out. Anderson's 2-0 is hit deep. And Schwarber caught it. He bobbled it. He caught it. The Dodgers are convinced that ball hit the wall, and Hernandez doing the right thing. He's going to round the bases just in case. And Dave Roberts might want to get another look at it.
Yeah, immediate. Bob Guerin, the bench coach, is signaling that it hit the wall. You see Almora make a circus catch out there now. Oh, man, I don't know if they're going to be able to see.
Wow.
I mean, it gets tangled up in the vines there a little bit.
That last
yeah. Shot right there is probably going to rule no catch.
And then, if that is the case, if they say no catch, where will they place Hernandez?
Yeah, I'm guessing second base. That's a really interesting play. There's a moment there where it hits the vine, but it's still in the webbing of his glove. I'm not sure exactly what the ground rule is here. But it's right here where it comes out, and that angle doesn't show, but that one we had earlier, it looked like it came off the wall. And right there, did he trap it? I love Almora's reaction.
Yeah, so you can bobble the ball all you want. If it's rolling around in your glove,
sure,
or you pop it up with your hand, but you can't use the wall as part of that bobble to make a catch. The vines here at Wrigley Field creating a pretty interesting situation. Oh. Well, you come to the ballpark, you never know what you're going to see.
Well, one day the ball sticks to the catcher's chest protector, and that Yadi Molina play in St. Louis. Now we got the ivy. Dogged determination on the part of Schwarber not to give up on that play.
There's another little part of this equation, that is the idea of selling a catch. That used to be such a big part of our game. Guys still do it, but
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't really matter, which is kind of weird.
So again, probably should be better versed on this, but I've never seen it before. Ivy as part of the wall or not, because clearly that ball was in the ivy at some point. My guess is that that's treated independently of the wall. Otherwise, we'd have a ruling already by the umpiring crew. That make sense?
I guess, but my assumption is it is part of the wall. For this purpose,
right?
But
so if
maybe
it is,
there's no rule that covers it.
Wouldn't that be an easy call then? At that, I mean, it's clearly
right there. It's kind of rolling on the ivy, right?
I don't know, man. That's every time I look at it, I come away with a little different feel.
Well, the new replay guidelines say New York has 2 minutes to determine whether or not to overturn the call, with various exceptions. This would be one of those.
Yeah, well, first of all, they got to be clear on the ground rule, and secondly, they got to make a determination as to exactly what happened, whether they can tell if that ball was back into the ivy or not.
The call on the field was catch, so that's also instructive. Okay, we're going to put him, as you said, at second base. And now I think Dave Roberts is going to say, why second?
Well, it's just the umpire's discretion.
Well, and I think this is the right call too, because once you call a guy out, right, a fielder's not going to continue to play.
Right. He's satisfied with the explanation we got from Greg Gibson. So this is going to add a little more drama to Kike Hernandez and his relationship with the fans in left field.
Well, he almost gave them a souvenir as it was.
All right. Ryu will try to push him along with a bunt.
And it's bunted foul.
But his challenge is to try to keep it away from Rizzo. So This is a very difficult combination to bunt against. Contreras so athletic coming out from behind home plate, and Anthony Rizzo, who's as aggressive, more aggressive than any first baseman I've ever seen in defending the bunt. I mean, by the time this is over, Rizzo's going to be able to tell you what Ryu had for lunch. That's the moment of panic right there when the bunter pulls the bat back and tries to slash it by you and you're 30 feet away. Not the most intimidating of swings, however.
And he bounces back to Anderson, but Hernandez will not be able to advance as Rizzo had to find the bag. He was a good 50 feet away. So 1 out now, Forsythe.
There's all kinds of defensive metrics. You know, they talk about range factor, defensive runs saved. I don't know if they have a way of keeping bases not gained by defending the bunt, because we see it time and time again where teams are not able to push runners along because of Rizzo's aggressiveness on plays like that.
One and 0 on Forsythe. "30 years old. He's from Memphis. Product of the University of Arkansas. Played for Joe Madden. 2014 at Tampa after 3 years with the Padres. Multiple positions. He's at second base today. 2-1. Knocked down by Contreras. 3-1.
Joe Madden was asked about Contreras in his briefing with the media before the game. He was talking about his improved work behind the plate in terms of knocking balls down.
Ground ball toward the hole at short. Little slip by Russell, but he recovers and throws out Forsythe. Well, ready for playoff hockey. Live coverage from the United Center begins tonight at 5 with Sports Talk Live, hosted by David Kaplan, followed by In the Loop at 5:30. CSN is your home for the first round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Seager robbed of extra bases by Almora in the first. Great ESPN The Mag piece on Seager before the season. Did you know there are 4 shortstops in the history of baseball 6'4" or taller to make 60 starts at that position?
And Cal Ripken Jr.
Yes. Almora back on this one.
You got to try somebody else, Corey Seager. That man's got your number.
Seager can't believe it.
It's better than the first one. Not very smart, is it? Did you change direction?
second one might have been better.
Yeah, the first one was higher. He had a little more time to draw a beat on it. This one had some slice spin off the bat, so it was kind of working its way in the other direction on him, and he had to make a little bit of a late adjustment. It's a beautiful play. It's a different kind of game for Brett Anderson, who's an extreme ground ball pitcher. There's been a lot of balls in the air. The outfielders have made some very nice plays.
So still 1-0, and it's Schwarber taking ball one.
Maybe got pinched a little bit there. Hey, there's some Predator fans.
We were looking to see if any out-of-town hockey fans would be at the ballpark, and yeah, there are a couple in the bleachers. 2-1. The lights have been on since we started. A bit of an overcast, slightly hazy day. 49 degrees as we got started with an east wind at 7. Cubs are not wearing their World Series jerseys with the gold around the logo and the nameplate. Back to their iconic everyday home look, which I think symbolically says that we're now into the rhythm of the season.
Yeah, between the ceremonies and the sporadic nature of the first 10 days of the season with the off days and the rain out, there's a sense of normalcy returning.
Hey, it's 3-2 on Kyle Schwarber.
Yeah, we got to remember to chart that. Who sees more 3-2s this year, Schwarber or Bryant?
I was going to try a new analogy. Let's see what you think.
Go for it.
We've seen more full counts with these two guys than at a vampire banquet. Does that work?
Of course it does.
And this time he gets him. Now Bryant. Schwarber has made Ryu work 14 pitches in his first 2 plate appearances. Well, since Chris Bryant is considered a tall third baseman, in the air to right. That's Puig at the edge of the track. Let's pay off the Seager note that I asked you.
Yeah.
6'4" shortstop, 60 or more career starts at short. I mentioned Cal Ripken Jr. Seager is another. There's a current shortstop also in that category, and then kind of a utility
How tall was
guy.
Belanger? Mark Belanger.
No. Carlos Correa and Andy Fox.
Oh, Andy Fox, yeah. How Correa's what? 6'4"?
I will look.
I didn't realize he was that tall.
Correa listed at 6'4", 215.
Well, it makes sense, doesn't it? I mean, we've got 6'9" point guards in the NBA now.
Mark Belanger was 6'1".
Okay. He seemed taller because he was so thin, the blade. See, I think a lot of evaluators would look at Seager and go, hey, he can't be a shortstop. He's got thick legs. Wouldn't be rangy enough to play the position, but sometimes you just got to let a guy play.
There's Seager backhanding and getting Rizzo to end the inning. Cubs 1, Dodgers nothing after 3.
Light game report. Cubs on top 1-0 here in the 4th, and a bunch of the players walking into the clubhouse and flashing off those big blinding rings this morning. It was Pedro Strop who made sure to wave to the media guys and show them all off to us today in his tracksuit, mind you. But John Lackey last night now with 3 rings, and he mentioned A, B, and C, right? The Angels, Boston, and now the Cubs, saying that the Cubs was the biggest one he's gotten. Pretty awesome. And Brett Anderson actually, kind of funny yesterday, mentioned he was the only guy now in the clubhouse, 25-man roster, who doesn't have one. So he said, hey, maybe this year's motto could be win one for Brett. What do you think, guys?
Yeah, I like it. Koji Uehara has one with the Red Sox. John Jay with the Cardinals. Wade Davis with Kansas City.
One for the Gipper. Seems like maybe he needs to have T-shirts made. Oh, we were talking about Turner the other night and how he's evolved as a hitter, turning into an outstanding offensive performer. He's changed his game. Hits for a lot more power than when he first came into the league.
There's a base hit to left.
I was crunching some numbers. From 2009 through 2014, his first 1,248 plate appearances, he totaled 15 home runs. His last 2 seasons, 43 home runs, and far fewer plate appearances.
Yeah,
Forsythe similar too. Very little power when he first came into the league, first 3 or 4 years. Did not hit for power. The last couple of seasons he has.
Well, it has clicked for Turner. To Puig. Now 2 balls, no strikes. Anderson can't get him to go after that low one. 3-0. After this one, we will next see the Dodgers in Los Angeles in late May. 26th through the 28th. The all-time series going back to 1890 is separated by 11 games. Dodgers have won 11 more than the Cubs all time.
Ground ball pitcher against a guy who hits it on the ground a lot.
Second walk. So now he'll have to face Scott Van Slyke with 2 men on and nobody out.
Yeah, Puig working some walks here in the early going of 2017. He's never been the most patient hitter. Very positive sign for him.
George Lombard, the first base coach. Chris Woodward over third.
Triple plays in order. See him now. Breaking ball moving down and in. One hopper to Bryant right to the bag. Boom, boom. You got to see it to believe it. Bunt here. Stay out of the double play.
Dave Roberts, manager of the year in the NL last season. Bob Guerin, his bench coach, to his right. I suppose we could consider Dave Roberts as part of the Mike Scioscia managerial tree, right? Okay. Because Bud Black was on Scioscia's staff, and then when Buddy was in San Diego, right at the end of his tenure, Dave Roberts was on his staff. We would put Joe Madden in that group as well. Although, would you say it goes back to Tommy Lasorda, since Scioscia caught for Tommy forever?
For Tommy. Mike Scioscia's always been thought of as a National League style manager in the American League.
Swing and a miss by Van Slyke. That's the first out.
Well, he stayed out of the double play. Hey, there's Tommy.
The Hall of Famer.
He doesn't miss many trips to Chicago. Going to be about nap time, though, isn't it?
Grandal, switch hitter batting from the right side, takes a strike. First strikeout for Brett Anderson. Got major help from his center fielder in this one, as Almora has robbed Corey Seager twice. Nudged foul. 0-2.
Yeah, Hayward made a nice play on Forsythe at the start of the ball game as well.
Yep.
I'm sure part of the attraction for Anderson to come to the Cubs was their infield defense, being a ground ball pitcher, but the boys out in the pasture providing support here this afternoon.
Not sure what's going on with Contreras.
Yeah, Contreras rubbing his eyes, and PJ Mainville had an athletic trainer out there to check him over. Look at that, folks, up close. That's some real live medicine going on right there. You know, Scary Pressey on the organ playing I Only Have Eyes for You.
He's all over it.
He doesn't miss a thing.
It's kind of amazing. Catchers don't have this happen more often, considering how low to the ground they are and pitches that hit the dirt. The 0-2. 1-2.
See it more often with a left-handed hitter up there, and we used to see it a lot with David Ross and Anthony Rizzo working that pickoff behind a base runner. He's the kind of guy you're keeping an eye on because he's very aggressive, sometimes gets a little careless out there.
Anderson's going to have to field it. His throw to Rizzo in time. So second and third with 2 outs.
Yeah, he may have tweaked something fielding that ground ball. Anderson's had a lot of injury problems in his career. Back issues. So you see him, start to twist or stretch the hammy a little bit, and that immediately sends up a red flag. Good to go.
So it's Thompson, the center fielder. With 2 in scoring position. Third game of the series, 8 runs combined this week. So every tally at a premium so far.
Thompson was 0 for 10 down at AAA, so he's looking for his first hit of the year.
Oh, speaking of AAA, Ian Happ has homered again. He's got 5 already for Iowa.
Would he have 8 in spring training?
I don't know if he had that many. I want to say 6.
Thompson played 80 games for the Dodgers last year, hit .225 with 13 home runs. The season was cut short due to stress fractures in his back. Brother plays in the NBA. His dad did as well.
Ground ball to Russell. Go to first. Got it. So Anderson gets out of it. First 2 reached. Nobody scores.
On a Saturday, Cubs-Pirates first pitch at 1:20, and up to the first 10,000 early arriving fans will receive a replica World Series trophy presented by Starwood Preferred Guest. For ticket information, visit Cubs.com.
I think the sun is coming out on this cool spring afternoon in Chicago. Addison Russell takes ball one from Ryu. 1-0. Anthony Rizzo homered, his first of the season in the first. Use 2-0, crank the left, it will go! Hello, Waveland, 2-0.
Ryu has been pretty good today about not giving in hitters counts, but that time a challenge fastball on 2-0 to Addison Russell. He was up to the challenge. Addison goes to Waveland. With your forward home run replay. Beautiful swing of the bat by young Mr. Russell. Sounded good. Juicy. How'd you sit bouncing down the street like a Super Bowl?
So he has his first. And Zobrist telling him where the ball landed. Might be rolling down Kenmore as we speak. Swing and a miss on the changeup. 1 ball, 1 strike. Cubs lead 2-0. Ball to Seager, easy play. Corey Seager is saying to Albert Almora, hit the ball to me. After what Almora has done to him with the glove.
Yeah, and there's the first one. Backs him up to the brick before he's able to haul it in. And this one, up to the angle that Albert has to make a late adjustment there as this ball starting to slice a little bit. Great job, great break and tracking that the whole way.
Double-A walked his first time up. Swing and a miss. Change-up. Sent him to his knee.
Yeah, maybe he was cheating, looking for a fastball inner half.
Ryu coming home and a chopper towards Seager, cut off by Turner. High throw, but Van Slyke is tall, so no problem. Hayward singled in the second. Jason, one of the players who had a hand in helping design the World Series championship ring. There is, as that ball was rocketed foul, a Dodger logo on the Cubs ring. On the inside of the ring, Cubs have their playoff series wins. So 3-1 over San Francisco, 4-2 over the Dodgers, 4-3 over the Indians. One and two. Twins are pounding the Tigers 11-4 as we get a look at the inside of the ring. There's that Dodger logo. And November 3rd, 2016, 12:47 a.m. That's when the ball hit the glove of Anthony Rizzo, clinched the World Series. I was talking with Cubs media relations chief Peter Chase. He confirmed that exact time with several different sources to make sure that that was the exact time Cubs won the title. Hayward could not hold, and that's the inning. Russell led it off with a booming home run that found the street, and it's 2-zip after 4.
On Monday, July 17th, with special guest Bonnie Raitt. Don't miss your chance to see this rock and roll Hall of Famer. Tickets are available now at Cubs.com/James Taylor.
Anderson with a 2-0 lead. Hernandez doubled in the third on a ball that originally was called an out. And according to the replay ruling, Kyle Schwarber got some assistance from the wall in left. More specifically, it appeared to us, the vines. And a roller to Russell. And he's out. Rizzo stayed on the bag. Mentioned the Twins leading the Tigers 11-4, end of the 6th in Detroit. Pirates 2, Red Sox 1 in a makeup game at Fenway, bottom 5. Texas and the Angels just underway, 1-0. Rangers in the top of the first.
Sets up to be, doesn't always prove to be, an easy inning for Anderson with 8-9-1.
look and see if the Tigers have homered today going into that game. They had homered in the first 8 games of a season for the first time in franchise history. He wasn't so sure. Miguel Cabrera hit his first. Justin Upton his first today. All 4.
That's the old pink elephant walk. Start to fall behind the opposing pitcher. Negative thoughts in your head. Maybe not such an easy inning after all. The lineup turns over. I hit it on the ground. A shortstop last time he was up. That would work just fine. Been a busy day for Russell. He's had 4 chances. That's what you would expect with Anderson on the mound. A lot of work for the guys on the left side of the infield. Brett Frank is the pitching coach down at the University of Houston. For a number of years was the head coach at Oklahoma State.
We'll refine the strike zone here. And Chris Bosio is going to make a trip to the mound. Let's check in on the Cubs farm system. I mentioned Ian Happ has homered today for Iowa, his 5th already. Jeimer Candelario had a big night last night, off to a great start. Look at that, he's knocked in 15 runs in just 7 games. And JD, at Double-A today, the Tennessee Smokies were down 7-0 going to the bottom of the 9th against Mississippi. Scored 8 runs to win it. That doesn't happen very often.
No, it doesn't. It'll probably not happen again all year.
Seven hits, 4 walks, 12 men sent to the plate in the 9th after trailing 7-0.
Our good buddy Mick Gillespie on the call must have been going bonkers.
Yeah, he just texted me, said I've never seen anything like it. Good visit from Chris Bosio. He might have simply said throw strikes,
well,
man.
Yeah, you know, and then when you start squirting that curveball high and away the way he was, sometimes the way to fix it is down and in heaters. Make sure you finish that delivery. Get extended, get through the pitch. Rediscover the release point.
Swing and a miss. Good comeback for Anderson. He gets Forsythe.
That's a great meeting by Boz. The wheels were starting to spin there a little bit, and Anderson back on the beam.
Just clear the field, leave Almora in center for this at bat.
How are you trying to pull that one? So I'm going to pull this one, hit it into the seats where nobody can catch it except for that lady with the mittens. There she is.
That was a great catch, and that's it for the mittens. They served their purpose.
Yeah, there's the ball. The lady in the gray made the play. Guessing that's her daughter.
And a base hit to left. Almora should yell at Seager, "You afraid of me or what?"
Seager probably told Rizzo, tell Almora to catch that one.
Not going to see Seager smile a ton on the baseball field. Very stoic. And his body language was not always seen as an asset. You can speak to that. This game has a way of prejudging players based on their body language. And there was a time when he tried to change that. And then he just realized, this is who I am.
What, they wanted to see a little more energy? They wanted to see
a little more, quote, I care. And he said, I care. It's just, it's just how I roll.
It's interesting how people read body language and assume they know what's going on inside a player's mind. And boy, once you get a label in this game, it's hard to shake it.
Baseball is so different from the other sports. You can be a snapper in this game, and there are a lot of guys who do it. Crack helmets, beat up stuff with the bat in the tunnel. But for the most part, you got to be able to keep that level head, dealing with a lot of failure. Bases loaded with 2 outs for Puig.
Dodgers had first and second, nobody out last inning, and Anderson was able to settle in and prevent any damage. Threatening again here, obviously, a dangerous situation. Times of this inning, his deliveries look a little out of sync.
Go big spot in this one for Anderson. He wants to go back to the windup. First, he's going to talk it over with his catcher.
Well, throughout his career, he's had outstanding command, a low walk rate, but today that's been a bit of an issue. He's issued 4 free passes now.
That is Justin Grimm. Is signed through next season on a 7-year contract. Feels like it's a big year for him. 1-2. Fans on their feet here at Wrigley Field. The pitch popped him up. Rizzo has it. Anderson pumping his fist as he gets out of a bases loaded jam in the 5th. Still 2-0 Cubs.
by naming this street in Humboldt Park, the heart of the Puerto Rican community, Javier Javi Baez Way. Javi, 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 Javi.
Javier Baez with a big week. Got his World Series ring last night. More on that in a second. But on Tuesday, part of a dedication in Humboldt Park, Javi Baez Way. You get streets named after you, you know you're a big deal. Well deserved. Cubs maintaining their 2-0 lead. Baez lined to second his first time up.
Now, where do you go from there, man, when they're naming streets after you when you're 24 years old or whatever he is?
Grace Davis in from Jefferson City, Missouri, a Cub fan. Very special last night. She has spina bifida, and we've told the story of Javier's sister Noelle, who passed away after battling lots of health problems at the age of 21 a couple of years ago. They were very, very close. And I know it meant a lot to Javier and to Grace to be able to meet behind home plate as he singles into left. John Jay is going to bat for Anderson.
Jay has worked the 5 innings to qualify for the win. And worked awfully hard the last couple of innings. So Madden's going to go to the bullpen. Rick Honeycutt is going to go to the mound to discuss John Jay.
Honeycutt out with an interpreter to talk things over. And just to follow up, I thought that was a great touch to have the 20 Cub fans present rings to the players last night. What a thrill it had to be for those fans to be on the field to witness that ceremony, and then to shake hands or get a hug from a world champion.
Yeah, great moment for those fans. And yeah, whoever came up with that idea, kudos. It was really well done. So this is a big inning for Ryu and the Dodgers. Had a couple opportunities slip by the last couple of innings. Now the Cubs get a leadoff man aboard. Lineup about to turn over. Turner in a little bit at third base, just in case Jay thinks about a push bunt. Say, well, why is he using a left-handed hitter here against Ryu? Well, Jay has been good against left-handed pitching throughout his career.
There is a lefty up for the Dodgers, Grant Dayton. Carl Edwards Jr. getting loose in the Cubs bullpen. There goes Baez. Oh, and Jay
got him. Yeah,
got hit by the pitch. He pointed at his arm to Paul Nauert. I thought it might have gotten him in the helmet, but that is a scary thing. So 2 on, nobody out.
Ryu trying to use a quick pitch to shut down the running game and loses control of that fastball, clips the lead arm of Jay. So indeed, the Cubs are cooking here. First and second, nobody out for Schwarber. Getting their third look at Ryu. See how patient Dave Roberts is with his left-hander.
With Pedro Strop riding the stationary bike. We should get one of those for our booth.
It's a great idea.
Schwarber bounces. Fair ball. Deflects off. Man slide. Baez to the plate. He will score. It is 3-0.
Schleich was tight to line, still connecting around that baseball. Baez gets the go-ahead. Gary Jones. Forsythe, when he got to that ball, had immediately picked it up and fired it home. They might have had a shot at it, but his first move was kind of to turn and look and assess the situation. And by that time, there was no play to be made.
Going to play for a double play chance here to try to keep the Cubs from really breaking it open. Josh Fields now cranking it up. An RBI single for Schwarber. Before all the arm issues, kept the ball in the ballpark. Cubs have homered twice today off him. 2-1.
Third time through the batting order, always dangerous for a starting pitcher. And when it's the likes of Schwarber, Bryant, and Rizzo, doubly so. And a lot of that is, one, they're really good hitters. Two, they're patient hitters, so they force you to throw a lot of pitches. So by the time you get to this point of the game, they've seen everything he's got and get a good feel for his stuff and how he's trying to use it. There's a look at Ryu. So good those first 2 years, and then the shoulder injury really slowing him down.
Full count on Bryant. The Iowa Cubs a winner today over the New Orleans Baby Cakes.
The Baby Cakes.
5-2.
Check your macho at the door if you play for the Baby Cakes.
Schwarber not running. Called strike 3 to get Bryant.
similar to the pitch he got him with in the first inning, right?
Yes.
The inside corner fastball after the changeup.
Here's Johnson, got the save for the I-Cubs in that game. Swing and a miss by Rizzo. Score. Schwarber to third. Here's the throw. It's late. It gets away from Turner. Pile drive to score. And he's out. He thinks he got in. Paul Nowert called him out. I hope he's all right. As it is 4-0. And Rizzo ended up at third.
Kyle trying to sneak in and get that corner before the tag was applied. It's kind of hard to tell there. Now we're blocking our view.
Looked like he got him.
Yeah, I think he got him.
Yeah, even Joe made that indication they will not review it. That will be it, however, for Ryu.
How about the blocking the plate rule? Is there a challenge there?
Haven't seen Joe make any indication. I think he's not going to challenge. Hopefully Kyle's all right. Maybe a little bloody. We'll take a break. New pitcher coming in, 4-0 Cubs. Call to the pen. It is right-hander Josh Fields.
Fields on for the fourth time. So far, so good. 2 1/3. No hits. He's punched out 6. Good heater. Averages 94, 95 miles an hour. He's got a sharp curveball. A heck of a play by Kike Hernandez to come in and gobble up that overthrow and make the throw home.
No error on the play. Rizzo, an RBI single, advanced to second on the throw. The third advanced to third on the throw to the plate. Puig's got a cannon, but that one got away. And you're right, Hernandez, the man on the spot.
Yeah, and looking at that replay again, it looked like Grandal was good there too in terms of blocking home plate. He'd given Kyle that inside corner and then had to shift back to apply the tag.
Theoretically, every defender has a job on a play like that sometimes guys will observe. But Hernandez did not, and saved another run. As it is, the Cubs lead 4-0. A chance to add to that. 1-2 on Russell, who hit a long home run onto Waveland in the 4th. Field. Hernandez drifting back, and he's got it. Is he going to throw this one? All right, he's on the good side. David Ross getting his World Series ring. Who's that good-looking guy in the background with the tie? Arrieta takes the mound. The Cubs welcome in the Pirates for Game 2 of a 3-game weekend set. Coverage begins at 12:30 with Cubs pregame live, presented by Fields Auto Group. Remember to live stream the game on the NBC Sports app or at csnchicago.com. Here's Carl Edwards Jr.
Carl working for the 5th time. He has worked 2 2/3 innings so far this year. Came in on Monday in game 1 of this series. Struggled with his command, issued a couple of walks. Dave Roberts with a handful of left-handed bats available off the bench today, and he's going to use one right here.
It was a tough night to pitch Monday in terms of getting a good grip. 11 pitches, only 3 were strikes. Andrew Tolles, who hit the game-winning home run last night in the 1st inning, batting for Van Slyke. On the hands and fouled away.
I would imagine Adrian Gonzalez has got a bat in his hands down there as well.
first out.
Mike Montgomery is the only left-hander in the Cubs bullpen, and I'm doubting that he's available here this afternoon. So Dave Roberts can feel pretty comfortable going to his left-handed bats at this stage of the ball game, knowing that Joe's not going to have a left-handed counter out of the pen.
Pitching lines on the starters, both out of the game. Ryu 4 2/3, 6 hits, 4 runs. Anderson 5 innings, 3 hits, no runs.
Hydroplaning cutter up around the chin. Anderson walked 4, struck out 2. Struggled with his command at times through 90 pitches, only 48 for strikes, but and getting runs off him. That's the bottom line.
And he strikes out Grandal. This time Contreras setting his feet after last night, leading to that insurance run when he made the off-balance throw that got away from Rizzo.
Yeah, I got a little careless on that play last night. Had time to set his feet, did not. So this time he does everything just right. Throws a 107-mile-an-hour fastball down there to Rizzo.
And here is Gonzalez batting for Thompson. Shallow center. Baez is out. Almora is in. And Albert makes the catch. Nice outing for Edwards as the Dodgers go quietly in the 6th.
MLB.com at Bat mobile app. Stay connected to the game's best players all season long with game day, live game video highlights, radio broadcasts, stats, news, and more. Download MLB.com at Bat today. It's your #1 app for live baseball.
Tolles remains in. He's playing left. That moves Hernandez to center. And Gonzalez now playing first. Swinging strike on Contreras. On the stretch, 0-1. Make it 0-2. Our buddy Jeff Garland will sing the stretch today. And we'll take over the broadcast booth in the top of the 7th. 1-2. Hey, you can get the scoop on the new season of Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yeah.
Trying to get Joe Madden to make a cameo, but the timing, I guess, didn't work out before spring training. Line shot left field on a 1-2 pitch. Pulls over to cut it off, but Contreras will have a double. First hit of the day for Wilson.
All singles for the Cubs in the ball game last night. Driving the baseball here this afternoon. A hanging curveball from field. Those are what you're supposed to do with a bad pitch like that. Hit it hard.
Cubs winning 2 of 3 in each of the first 2 series at St. Louis, at Milwaukee, and trying to do the same here against the Dodgers to begin the season. Leading 4-0 in the 6th. Strike on Almora. Fouled back.
So much emphasis on shifting and defensive alignment in the game now. Guys need a cheat sheet. There's Tolles checking his out as to where he's supposed to be positioned for the Cub hitters. Either that or he's checking to see how many yards he is to the pin. It's a 7 or 8 iron.
Gonzalez over near the tarp. It's about 5 rows up. She ended up in the front row. Where is it? There it is. Grant Dayton up in the LA bullpen.
LA bullpen is a very important part of this team last year. They pitched more innings than any 10 in the league, and they were really good. Had the best ERA, best bullpen ERA in baseball. Got Jim Morrison in my head now. The Doors. LA bullpen. Weird Al could make that work somehow.
You're my bullpen. 1-2 on Almora. Pedro Strop. Just got in the game about an out ago.
Yeah, see? Yeah.
Took a look around, see which way the wind blows. Contreras with a double to start the inning.
Almora walks his first time up. His time in the big leagues, he has not drawn a lot of walks, but he's a good contact guy. He doesn't swing and miss a whole bunch either. So if nothing else, you're hoping for at least a productive out here to move Contreras along.
Popped up. Long run in Gonzalez. First out. Now Hayward. That'll be it for Fields. As Dave Roberts jogs out to the mound. He wants Dayton to face Hayward. No pitching change. Cubs lead 4-0. Sixth inning, and we'll be right back. It's behind door number 1. And Eddie Olczyk during the first round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Tune into the hometown call for Game 1 tonight. Predators and Blackhawks. Coverage begins at 6 with Blackhawks pregame live. Grant Dayton against Jason Hayward.
Dayton getting his first taste of the major leagues last season with the Dodgers. Not a young guy, he's 29 now. Well, he's not an old man, but by baseball standards, first taste of the big leagues in your age 28 season. I'd say it's rare, but it's not that common. And he was good. Pitched to a 2.05 ERA last season. Lefties hit just 140 against him.
Up and in on Hayward. For ball 1. Garrett Cole, Kyle Hendricks tomorrow afternoon. Tyler Glasnow, Jake Arrieta on Saturday, Jamison Tyone, and John Lester on Sunday. As the Pirates come in. The pitch bounced foul.
Got this shift on for Hayward, and Corey Seager Right out behind second base, so that's making it difficult for Contreras to get an aggressive secondary lead.
Balls, 2 strikes. Crisp spring afternoon here at Wrigley Field. Cubs lead 4-0. And the 2-2 to Hayward is inside. It's full.
He's got a pretty good curveball, but for the most part leaning heavily on the 4-seam fastball here. Trying to work up in the zone to Hayward.
Infield pop-up. Gonzalez has this one.
You know what today is?
Thursday?
Yes, it is the anniversary of the great Henry Aaron's Major League debut. 1954 in Cincinnati, playing left field for the Milwaukee Braves. He went 0 for 5.
I believe Bobby Thompson got hurt, which is what allowed Aaron his break. And Javier Baez will be intentionally walked.
Jim Greengrass of the Reds that day also made his Major League debut, and he got 4 doubles to tie a Major League record. So if you were at that game and you were scouting, you would have said, this Greengrass is going to be a heck of a player, but this Aaron fella, I'm not so much.
So Matt Caesar was on deck, but it will be Carl Edwards Jr. to take the AB.
Caesar clearly was just a decoy in that situation.
This is his 3rd career plate appearance. He is 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. Got a tall strike zone, doesn't he?
Yeah. Whoa, don't get cheated.
That nameplate, the E almost under that left arm, covers the entire back of the jersey. Well, you average 1 plate appearance a season, you're going to get the most out of it.
Just don't pull anything.
Well, you can pull the ball.
Pull the ball, yeah, don't pull any muscles.
So Edwards strikes out. Cubs can't convert after the leadoff double, but they lead this game 4-0. Jeff Garland
I am here.
You don't need this. Do you want to use it?
Wait,
No.
oh, it's built in. Oh, this is for when I sing.
Yeah.
All right, I got it now.
I think you did that once, and we just let you go.
Did I really?
Looked like you were having fun.
That's I've done some things up here. I remember I wore a Mexican wrestler mask.
Yeah.
And that was fun.
You should do stand-up once with the headset.
No, that would be, comedians have done that, worn those like.
Doesn't work, does it?
It looks so stupid. This is classic, man. This is what you do. I don't care if you even have a cord or not. You hold the mic. I wonder if Jock Peterson's going to come up.
Here he is, Jock Peterson.
I saw him at a Clippers game or a Lakers. No, I don't remember. It was a game. Someone said that's Jock Peterson.
So 12:47 a.m.
Yes.
I think Cleveland time, November 3rd.
Yes.
Where were you, and what emotions did you have as this ball is going to drop in front of Hayward?
I was at Sweden. It was in Sweden at a puppet convention, and I was making some pottery. Didn't even know the World Series was on.
Oh, really?
Yes.
You watched it on tape.
I was at my house, and by myself. My son came down, my younger son, and he even took a video of me. I didn't know it when they won. And it's on my Instagram account because I want people have to see this. And all I did was cry and say, oh my God, over and over and over again. It was, come on, man, I'm still crying. By the way, Monday night, ESPN did a really good job. I was so surprised, as if the Cubs paid them. Maybe they did, they are actually, they're part of Major League Baseball. But every detail was as if it was produced by Chicago. And I was crying. I got to tell you, the one that really hit me was Billy Williams. When he put the flag up, I was like, are you kidding me?
It was pretty cool.
Oh, my God. And then congratulations on your ring. How great is that?
Thank you. Well,
that is just magical.
JD and I were pretty speechless, which is rare for us.
You did a great job hosting the things you said. You were great. I mean, this is just so amazing and magical. Amazing and magical. And I got to tell you something. I am heading to Sweden tonight for the pottery and puppetry. I don't know.
Well, you were part of it too. You were the assistant to the stage manager opening night in Anaheim as the Cubs bludgeoned the Angels.
That's right. We had a great time. We were out till like 3 in the morning, 4 just talking. At the hotel. That's so funny. Yeah, I gave you. Yeah, that was really fun, man. And then we had San Diego, I think the year before that, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. I had to pull you into Jill's office. You didn't want to go in. You said he's working. I said,
I don't want to bother him. By the way, I'm not going to, I'll say it. Vince Vaughn and I had a discussion, and I'm not going to say names. But he and I were very upset. No, not him, I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
He agrees with me. We were both very upset that anyone went in the Cubs locker room who didn't belong there. That's all I'm saying. And that's a slam, but I should shut up. But all I'm saying is, leave the men alone. They earned it. Like if someone said, Jeff, you want to come to the locker room? No, thank you.
Caught by Baez.
Oh, goodbye.
Got it.
Oh, my God. That was fantastic. Yeah, I don't want to go. Look, people are working. I don't want to go into the manager's office or the locker room. I don't want to see anything.
Now, you have a surprise guest who's going to sing with you?
No, he's not singing with me.
Oh, he's not going to sing?
No.
Can we say who it is? Or?
Yes, you can say.
So he walks in, JD, and he goes, hey, I've got Jeff Tweedy with me. I'm like, yeah, right. And right behind him is Jeff Tweedy from Wilco.
We have a Jeff convention in town.
Is Brad Morris here, too?
Brad Morris, he threw the first pitch out.
I love Brad.
Yeah, he is here. He's very much here. Tonight, by the way, I have a new Netflix movie coming out May 5th it's the first Netflix mystery movie. It's called Handsome. I play Handsome. It's like Columbo. I play like an LA homicide detective. But tonight, I'm premiering it at the Music Box.
Fantastic.
Please tell me you want to go.
I would love to go.
Can you go tonight?
I don't know. We'll find out. I have to ask my wife.
You want to go?
It might be a hockey game I want to watch.
Oh, I know. The Hawks.
Yeah.
Believe
me,
here's
the thing. I have Netflix, so I can watch it.
On May 5th, yes. But tonight at the Music
Box.
Handsome. By the way, if you live in Chicago, you got to make it a point to go to the Music Box sometime.
Great place.
It's our grand old theater of Chicago. Beautiful movie theater. And they show a lot of movies on film. Hold on, there's a note. Oh, yeah, Mazda is sponsoring the 7th inning stretch. Hi, I'm Pat Hughes. You know, Mazda presents, by the way, you know Nuveen? Nuveen, a bank that should be a lotion.
You going to sing?
Yes.
Okay. Jeff Garland coming up. It is the Mazda 7th inning stretch.
Today's guest conductor for Take Me Out to the Ball Game, actor, comedian, and Chicago native Jeff Garland.
Hello, fans of the world champion Chicago Cubs. That's right. That's right. It feels good to say it. I'm going to say it again. Fans of the world champion Chicago Cubs. That's right. A 1, a 2, a 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get back, for it's root for the world champion Chicago Cubs. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Thank you, world champion Chicago Cubs.
Plays center.
Can I ask a question?
Sure. There's Chris Hatcher.
Here's my question. Enough with the beards.
You've had it with the beards, huh?
No, just enough. That's my question. Enough with the beards. And then what's his name who's got a crazy Van Slyke? What are you, a rabbi? What the hell's going on?
Yeah, well, that's, see, you've got the House of David jacket on. That would be perfect.
Yes. By the way, they would look perfect playing for a Jewish barnstorming team. What the hell? Is it like they're driving a coach in Pennsylvania?
Show the back.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, turn this way.
HD, the House of David, yeah. So that was the old barnstorming team, and they awarded long
And by the way,
beards.
they stopped. You know why they stopped playing? Because they started letting guys who weren't Jewish play on the team, so they could be better. Oh my God, there weren't a lot of Hank Greenbergs on that team.
So, I wanted to ask you about Curb.
Curb, yes.
And I know JD is curious too. What's the Joe Madden situation? Because it didn't work out.
Well, I got to tell you, we really tried, and I'm not talking about the show. I'm talking about Joe. Joe couldn't do the 2 dates we had for him. We had 2 situations for him to film. These 2 different party situations where he would have had a line. It was perfect. Larry was excited about the possibility, but Joe, it was spring training, and then the last one when he had like a press conference thing for all managers or whatever, so it didn't work. So if we do another season, we're going to try and make it happen again.
That'd be great.
And by the way, I already talked to Joe. We've got a few more days of filming. I think I'm going to try and get a picture of him in the background.
Nice.
That works. Maybe the cover of Michigan Avenue magazine. By the way, Joe is very proud of that. You see him on the cover of Michigan Avenue?
Yeah.
Dear God, he's a handsome man.
So you're just going to have it maybe laying on a coffee table somewhere.
Something. Maybe I'll be holding it. Larry will go, oh, what's that? I'll go, hey, Joe Madden autographed the Michigan Avenue cover for me. Oh, it's Michigan Avenue. It's a magazine. It won't make for funny conversation. It probably won't make the show.
When is the show going to air?
For sure in the fall.
In
it
the
could
fall.
be as early as August, as late as September. There's no official word yet.
And was it just like old times, getting back together?
So it was 5 years since we filmed it last, and it was just like we filmed a few weeks before. And the show will be, the storyline's amazing. It cracks me up. It's my favorite season we've had so far. But it's the same. It's like what you love about the show will still be there. It's like more of the same yet different.
I'm in.
Yeah, because people don't want you like to just reinvent the wheel. It's like there's a reason they love the show, and it's such an honor to be on the show that means so much to people.
JD will be quoting lines from this upcoming season in 2018.
Can I tell you something?
I'm jacked up. I'm glad you guys made it back.
I've quoted lines to Larry of JD's. JD is so funny. It's nuts. When I watch, by the way, I watch it because I have the MLB app, so I see most of the games with you guys. And you say things that just make me laugh so hard I grab my stomach. But you say them in the most calm, just average way. But what actress did you do a reference to the other night? Old-timey actress. It was just such a weird thing.
Weird is accurate, yeah.
Well, the home run sculpture is that's your best line, right?
What was that?
B. Arthur just happened.
In Florida. Yeah.
B. Arthur played Larry's mother on the Heaven episode of B. Arthur. I have a great, it's not appropriate right now to tell this story, so I'll tell it another time to you guys. But I have a great B. Arthur story, and it doesn't involve me dating her. Chris Bryant's still up. He was Rookie of the Year. Did you guys know that?
Yes.
And he was MVP. And he's a world champion.
2-2. Low.
By the way, what of the many Cup channels are we on today?
We are on CSN Chicago.
CSN, does it stand for Chicago Sports Network?
No, Comcast Sportsnet.
Comcast Sportsnet.
Chicago.
Chicago. All right. Is there a commercial? I love commercials.
After this pitch, I will let you.
I have a lot of friends watching today.
You do?
Yeah, they're in Wyoming watching on Wyoming Mutual Telephone.
Why don't you say hi to them?
Hey, welcome. Everyone is watching on Wyoming Mutual Television. What an honor to have you. So when the game's over, head out to the horses, go for a ride, have a nice steak for dinner. You're living the life in Wyoming. And we're in Chicago with the
Actually, Iowa. It's Wyoming, Iowa. They threw you a big curveball.
By the way, I wonder if that's ever happened before. Hey, everyone, welcome from Wyoming, Iowa. Here in Chicago, we're sponsored by Nuveen, a bank that should be a lotion.
Nicely done.
Oh, please, thank you. Becca just brought me some water. Is Becca not adorable?
Becca's adorable.
She is just the loveliest young lady. And I've reached that age where I say things like that, loveliest young lady. I'm an old man. Anthony Rizzo from Coral Springs, Florida. Are you kidding me?
Swinging strike. He homered in the first, knocked in a run in the fifth.
Because he's Anthony Rizzo, and he's great. By the way, my pick for MVP this year is Anthony Rizzo.
It's a good choice.
Yeah. God, I love that guy. And I believe I'm going to be performing at his benefit. This year during the Cubs convention. And I think I'm going to have some sort of show at the Cubs convention this year.
Really?
Yes, I'm going to try and do that. Yes. Nice. All very exciting.
Strike on Rizzo.
Did I say I'm in Zanies in
Far
Rosemont?
away.
No, I just want to make sure I say these things. This weekend I'm doing stand-up at Zanies in Rosemont. And you guys are invited to that, but I think you might not want to go to Rosemont.
I love how much you work.
By the way, truth is, yes, I do work a lot. But my favorite thing to do in the world, nap. And I love being with my family. So I'm a guy who loves to nap, who loves being with his family, who works hard constantly. Because the truth is, in my business, when it comes, you got to go for it, and you got to keep going.
Yeah.
I'll have plenty of time to slow down in the future. Trust me.
Well, and I don't want to bury the lead. Congratulations on the Goldbergs. It's a great show. It has done so well. I'm sure it's done better than even in your wildest dreams.
Without a doubt. By the way, to be on 2 shows, one is, by the way, it's the #1 foul ball. Anthony Rose, you're watching, you know that. I think I'm on radio suddenly. But, and I don't want to keep people, but I already know being on here, people hate my voice. Not all of them. I'm annoying some people. I apologize. I'll be gone after this half an inning. Just hang tough. Or put on Pat Hughes. Listen to Pat Hughes as you watch while I'm on and you're good. So anyhow, the Goldbergs is the #1, it's the #3 comedy on TV, but #1 for families watching together. To be on a show like that and at the same time be on this very adult, iconic show on HBO, I'm the luckiest guy in the world. And the Goldbergs just makes me really, really happy, and it really is an honor to be on that show. And I get families coming up to me all the time who just can't say enough good things.
Right.
And it'll be on next year. We got picked up for a 5th season, which would make no sense if they canceled us, the #1 family show. Maybe a network's in a self-destructive mood. You never know.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
You know what else is a bit great about you guys, unlike me right now? Plenty of times you don't talk, which is delightful when you watch a broadcast. I'm not saying I don't love your voices and what you say, but you know, baseball's a quiet game.
Pastoral.
It's pastoral. It really is. That's what. Don't try and make it like other crappy sports. Baseball's magic. And right now, I know people. Oh, they're all great grandma's balls.
All right.
All right.
Hugs.
Hey, thank
before
you.
we say goodbye, Jeff. We'll see you again this year, though, right?
Yes, you will. Oh my God, you're the best. The best.
See you, pal.
.com. eClick is located right here in Chicagoland and rated A+ by the Better Business Bureau. eClick Lending. Boom! Your mortgage just happened. Matt Caesar into the game in left for Kyle Schwarber. Koji Uehara now pitching.
Koji on for the 5th time. As a veteran right-hander, he's got tremendous strikeout numbers throughout his major league career. He's off to a good start here, his first season in a Cub uniform. 2 solid innings from Carl Edwards Jr. here this afternoon. I feel like every time Jeff Garland comes in for a visit, it's like we've been on a tilt-a-whirl or some kind of a zany roller coaster for about half an hour, and got to get my equilibrium back.
You excited about Curb?
Yeah.
That'd be great.
I didn't realize it. I knew it had been a while. I didn't realize it had been 5 years since its last season.
Seager pops off of third, and it's out of play. 38,379 here Beautiful Wrigley Field today.
Splitter.
That pitch is usually not meant to be in the strike zone. Got him that time.
Yeah, pitch is most effective when it starts on the plate and moves down below the knees or off the outside edge.
Turner has walked twice, singled once.
Rope was up earlier. Back up, getting ready. Just in case.
1-2. Some awkward swings on that splitter.
Yeah, it's a pitch that I can't say it's fallen out of favor, but there was a time where a high percentage of pitchers threw it, and not so much anymore.
Well, it's got to be pretty stressful on the elbow, doesn't it?
Well, that's why
theory.
some people have moved away from it. Yeah.
Almora back, now in, 2 gone. Dodgers head home after this ball game. They'll host the Diamondbacks this weekend, and that ball pulled into left. I think there's a Greinke-Kershaw matchup tomorrow. I've got to find the tweet. Give credit where credit is due about that matchup. Bill Plunkett, who is a Dodger beat writer for the Orange County Register, pointed out tomorrow night's matchup at Dodger Stadium is the most expensive in Major League history. Zach Greinke, making $34 million this season, faces Clayton Kershaw, who will make $35.5 million.
That's an expensive matchup.
Yeah. Baez will get it to Rizzo, and that's it for the Dodgers in the 8th. Anderson, Edwards, Uehara have combined for 8 shutout innings.
How do you get to Wrigley Field? The Cubs suggest taking public transportation. They offer a free bike check that's located by the Addison Red Line station. And if you drive, the Cubs provide free remote parking and shuttle service on night and weekend games. For information, visit the A to Z guide at Cubs.com.
Second inning of work for Hatcher, the former catcher. Russell takes outside, our hefty home runs. Rizzo and Russell both hitting their first of the season. Rizzo in the first inning, Russell in the fourth, well over 400 feet. And found Waveland.
Fire in the hole.
Two balls and a strike. Some shadows now covering foul territory and into the left on the west side of the ballpark. Hatcher got off the mound in a hurry to make that play.
Yeah, real sense of urgency by Hatcher, the former catcher. Kind of looked like an infielder there. Little excuse me half swing by Russell. If you can get to that ball in a hurry, then you don't have to hurry your throw. Maybe the best I ever saw was Mike Hampton.
He was really good. Yeah, he could hit too.
Yeah, I'm not so sure he couldn't have played center field in the big leagues.
Bobby Cox always claimed John Smoltz could have done that. 1-1 on Contreras.
On this date in 1980, the first all-Q battery got together.
1980?
1980.
All Q?
Q. Pitcher was a Q, the catcher was a Q.
I should know this.
Yeah, you'll get this.
I will?
Yeah.
I'm blanking. Jamie Quirk?
Correct.
Okay. Well,
not a starter.
I was going to say Dan Quisenberry.
Yes, sir. One was named Quirk, and the other one was very quirky. Quisenberry.
Yeah, Jamie not very quirky, but
a character.
Swing and a miss, strike three. Wade Davis.
The MLB.com ballpark app is your free, secure, and convenient way to instantly access Cubs tickets via your mobile device. Download the app at the App Store or Google Play and begin using Ballpark today. For more information, visit Cubs.com/ballpark.
Without a hit today, Almora making a case for being the player of the game. If those two Seager fly balls drop in, who knows what this game would look like.
Hatch has been doing a lot of work with the four-seam fastball at the top of the zone, but changing his game plan here with a couple of really good off-speed pitches to fool Almora. Might be a splitter that he's running up there too.
Cup Forsythe, and Albert does have a hit.
Two reaches for him today. He walked his first time up. Pulls his hands in, cuts across. That ball's got some slice spin, so it was hit sharply, plus had some funky action on it. Jace just ate up Forsythe there.
Hayward 1 out of 3. Fouls away. High. 86. And that fastball from Hatcher. 1 ball, 1 strike. Red Sox have grabbed a 4-3 lead. They're in the 8th inning at Fenway. Pirates will play 3 games in 3 different cities over the course of 3 days. Really less than 3 days. They played a night game last night at PNC, day game today at Fenway, and then the series opener tomorrow afternoon here.
Andrew McCutchen has hit his first home run of the year. There'll be a lot of focus on McCutchen in the early going after a rough year last year.
It'd be weird to see him in right.
Yeah, Marte's playing center, Polanco left, and McCutchen in right these days.
Well, I think they just took a run off the board via replay because it's now 3-3. I guess now we can say JD can literally take runs off the board with the replay. Garrett Cole coming off a disappointing campaign as well. Has always pitched well against the Cubs.
Yeah, and that's why I'm intrigued by the Pirates. You know, anticipate a bounce back from Cole, a bounce back from McCutchen, development of the young pitching. Suspect they're going to be a little tougher to beat this year.
So it was a Hanley Ramirez triple that had cleared the bases, but there was a tag play at the plate that was overturned. So it's 3-3 in the 8th, not 4-3. Twins stave off a sweep with an 11-5 win at Detroit. Comes the ninth. Cubs 4, Dodgers nothing.
Out and show your support for your world champion Chicago Cubs. Tickets are still available for the remaining games on this homestand. The Pirates followed by the Brewers. Get your tickets now at Cubs.com.
The toast of the game is presented by Benny's Beverage Depot, and we are going to give it to Albert Almora Jr. Those two great catches robbing Corey Seager. Benny's Beverage Depot is the official champagne provider of the Chicago Cubs.
He has definitely been a difference maker in this ball game. He's also walked and singled.
The closer is on. It is not a save spot, but this is the 5th appearance for Davis in the Cubs' first 9 games. I don't think he'll continue quite at this pace, but with off days and rainouts and that sort of thing, he's been able to pitch a little bit more frequently. Pulled to right. It's going to one-hop the wall. Grandal has a double.
Yeah, and Joe Madden, like a lot of managers, even though it's not a safe situation, sometimes they're thinking is, you know what, if I bring somebody else in and the first sign of trouble, I'm going to go to my closer anyway. So I might as well give him an opportunity to start with a clean inning. Last worked on Monday. Pitch to the ninth, got the win when Anthony Rizzo delivered the game-winning base hit in the bottom of the ninth.
That is the 3rd hit he has allowed. One 1-0 on Gonzalez. outfield pop-up. Javier Baez. One away.
Now you'll see a lot of that with Davis on the mound. That cut fastball gets in on the hands of the left-handed hitters. Will induce a lot of weak pop-ups like that. You see it with Davis. Kenley Jansen of the Dodgers. That's his big pitch. Mark Melancon. A little late movement off the barrel in toward the hands.
The pitch to Peterson misses the outside corner. Pinch hit single in the 7th, now playing center. He pops it up. It's the shortstop Russell out in the outfield grass. 1 out away. It'll be a pinch hitter, Austin Barnes. If you win 2 of every 3 all year, you go 108 and 54.
So not only is 2 out of 3 not bad, as Meatloaf said, it's really, really good.
Really good. Barnes is a backup catcher. Now Dave Roberts has used his entire bench, except for the seat cushions. One ball, 1 strike. Two. I liked your line the other day. You can kind of picture Wade Davis saying, "Go ahead, make my day."
Yeah.
Under his breath, right?
Mm-hmm. He's a strong, silent type.
Dirty Harry vibe going. Is 1-2 bounces.
Talking with Dale Swaim about him this spring. Dale, the hitting coach for the Royals, so he saw Davis up close and personal and said, yeah, he's got another gear. Gives up a base runner or 2. Pick up a little velocity, a little more snap on the breaking pitch.
Full count offering. Called strike 3. Cubs win. Cubs win. They take 2 of 3 from the team they beat to win the pennant last year. And they'll head into the weekend 6-3 on the young season.
Well, the Dodgers shut out the Cubs last night. They returned the favor here this afternoon. Davis finishes off and was not a save. First big league win, or first Cub win, excuse me, for Brett Anderson. First home runs of the year for Russell and Rizzo. We highlighted the exploits of Almora in center field. So an all-around good day. The Cubs continue to clip along here, winning 2 out of every 3. And boy, did he paint the outside corner to finish off this ball game.
First shutout for the Cubs pitching staff. We're in game number 9. They had 15 shutouts last year, tied for the most in MLB. James and Sons Fine Jewelers player interview. So Kelly Krell is on the field. It looks like Anthony Rizzo, who homered for the first time this season, is our subject today. Kelly, take it away.
Hey, thanks a lot. Well, Anthony, your first home run of the year. Off the left that you haven't seen a whole lot of, but just to get that first one, does it feel pretty nice and to know that you're seeing the ball this well this early in the season?
Yeah, it feels good. It always feels good to get that one out of the way. Just kind of sort of relax a little bit, but another good win, good series win for the boys, and great crowd on a kind of a weird day here. It starts out all gloomy, and then it turns out to be beautiful. So another series win, we'll take it.
You know, there was a lot of curiosity by fans, at least at the beginning of the year, as to how Almora would fill the shoes of Fowler out there. What's your early evaluation on him?
I mean, those plays, he's made some highlight plays, in the first handful of games that have been amazing. The 2 today were just the wind blowing, the way it's hit, it's fun to watch.
Out of curiosity, it was Madden who kind of wanted to go with D-Pete as one of the mottos for your team. But in general, when you watch Almora, you watch what Javi did today with you there, doubling up. Explain why that's so important for your identity.
I mean, Al doesn't make those plays. It's a totally different ball game. We got to make all the routine plays, but it's the extra plays that you make that really go over and beyond. And we end up tacking on a few more runs because of it, and pitchers can be a little more loose, and we can be a little more loose.
You said it, another series win. Congratulations, Anthony.
Appreciate it.
Guys, there you go. Another big day at the plate for Anthony. 2 for 4, and Cubs 3 series now in a row.
Thank you, Kelly. So that'll wrap up a fun one today. We are back with you on Saturday for the middle game of that series against the Pirates, 12:30 for our pregame coverage. For JD, for Kelly, and our entire CSN crew here at Wrigley Field. I'm Len Casper. Final score again, Cubs 4, Dodgers nothing. Stay tuned. Blue Cross Blue Shield Cubs post-game live is next.